So yeah, after half an hour, I think we were the better team. We were creating, but then yeah, the game completely changed by that set piece, because the hour afterwards, yeah, we were maybe trying but hardly created any chance. And I tried a few things that didn't work out, and that's why I say in the end, if things go well or don't go well, it's my responsibility.
We were just not good in terms of the battles, the challenges, the second ball fight, too rushed. So it's a very, very difficult situation at the moment.
8 goals in the league under you. The great entertainers.
Well, as if by magic. No, I don't think it's quite that easy. I like them boring 1-0s, trust me, them clean sheets and them 1-0s, they'll do me. But no, it's great for the fans, and it's another step, though. I reminded the players, they said another day off tomorrow, Gaffer. I said, I don't think so. They know, they're learning quickly.
What's he had you doing to put in a performance like that today?
Defending.
Bit of running?
Yeah, running, defending, all the hard stuff and not the pretty stuff. But listen, it works, and we showed that today.
Forest, isn't it? That badge, innit? Never got a chance to play in the kit. I'm certainly wearing it now.
Well done today.
Cheers.
He's loving it. The hard work is evidently paying off. Back-to-back wins in just the 4th visiting side to win a Premier League game at Anfield by 3 goals. And they took advantage of so many of the weaknesses that Liverpool have that Virgil van Dijk spoke about there.
Yeah, they did, and I think that's a concern when you're the captain speaking like that about the players lacking fight and not winning second balls and winning the challenges. But if we have a look here of how Nottingham Forest prepared themselves against Liverpool, they allowed Liverpool to come onto them early on, as we see here, and they were sucking Liverpool into traps all afternoon. And then, as we look here, the ball gets cleared out the box. Forest winning the second ball, and now running forwards, running off the back of the Liverpool players with pace, making it difficult for Liverpool. Liverpool not getting back quick enough, and then Kanate actually gets there. He's in a good position, but sloppy. Kicks the ball out for the easy corner, and then from the corner, Liverpool are tight to the Forest players, but then as the ball comes into the box, Morello, he's just hanging around the back here. Van Dijk gets a bit of a head on it, it falls to him, he's got a lot of space, a lot of time in the penalty area, and it's a really good finish. And then here from a throw-in, again, it's sloppy. You look at Jesus in the box, he's just pulling off the back of Kanate, he makes a little movement, gets across the front of him, and he's very unlucky that he didn't get another goal from this. Again here, Forrest running off the back of Salah here. McAllister gets sucked out, he has to get out then to try and get on the ball. This is 35 seconds into the second half. Cut back into the box, 2-0. Forest in a very comfortable position. And then here you see Arne Slot, as he's mentioned after the game, he tried to change it up, he tried to make changes to try and get Liverpool back into the game, but you see that they're switched off, they're not concentrated, they're not talking, not communicating with each other, and Forest play a quick free kick.
Hutchinson has loads of space.
Hutchinson, they don't get close enough to him, they allow him to pick up speed. He runs into the box, gets a shot off, and Gibbs White gets the rebound, 3-0, and a well-deserved victory for Nottingham Forest, who I thought were excellent.
And for that hour, as Arne Slot says, they were comfortable. And to be fair to Arne Slot as well, he didn't make a big thing of the first goal. And it is kind of sod's law, isn't it? That 2 weeks ago, they have one disallowed in similar circumstances, and now this one's allowed.
Yeah, and it's a goal. And in my opinion, 2 weeks ago, it was a goal.
Yeah.
And you're looking at this and you're saying, well, you know, there's no debating whether Ndoye in front of Becker, Alisson Becker, he's offside. But if we can zoom round, you're looking at the strike and the lack of movement from Ndoye on impact. Alisson can see the ball, he can see the strike, and from there, the main difference...
There, he's got a view there, yeah?
He's got a view. The main difference is you look at Ndoye, he makes no movement whatsoever, and there's no chance of Alisson to make the save. There's not making an impact on him and his ability to make the save. That's one of the key things. The other thing is the lack of movement. Andy Robertson ducked. That arguably has the difference. In my opinion, they're both goals. but that one definitely was.
You've both played in teams that have struggled. You've been in teams that have been successful and then struggled. There is no doubt Liverpool are struggling. When a captain of a team comes out and talks about losing battles and losing challenges and them not being on it and the second balls, is that a message for the dressing room more than the fans?
That's a clear message to his teammates, I think. Liverpool are a very good team and they're going through a very difficult moment at the minute. And Van Dijk is the captain, he is the leader, and that is a strong message to his teammates. And maybe to the players who haven't been there, who wasn't there last year, who didn't win the Premier League with Liverpool, that's a message. The standards at Liverpool need to be higher than what they are at the minute.
It's basics. You give yourself the best chance possible, and looking at the individuals in there. Are you playing well? Are you individually playing well before you even start? Is everyone at the top of their game? And there's not many out there in a red shirt today that turn around and say, yeah, I was. And that's really fundamental basic of football is, are you playing quite well right now? And they're not. You
talk about the newer players. It's also some of the established players that look to be struggling at the moment. I mean, you highlighted that the second goal. Salah, McAllister, it's the established players as well that look off it.
Yeah, it is, and I think, you know, they've been going through a tough time for all season, really. Even at the beginning of the season, they won games, but they were struggling with performances. And I've said this, you know, throughout the season, it's them leaders in that dressing room who have to pick the players up, because if not, then, you know, we've seen it over the last few years with Manchester United, and we've seen it last season with Tottenham. They can slip down the table.
You don't panic just yet, do you? I go back 3 years. They actually had a worse start under Jurgen Klopp 3 years ago. They ended up finishing fifth. I know they want better than finishing fifth, but you don't panic yet.
Well, they need to go back to basics. You look at what Sean Dyche was saying, and you look at it and you say, look, the results haven't been good enough. Now, for the standards, the results weren't good enough for Nottingham Forest. They've gone back to basics, and Nico Williams is there touching on it, saying, we're doing the running, we're doing the hard yards. Liverpool, it feels like, just have to go back to the basics, and it's defending solidly as a group, defending as a unit. Individual responsibility isn't there right now.
Is that the biggest problem to solve defensively?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to do when you're struggling is get back in a shape, get compact, and Liverpool are very open at the minute and easy to play against.
Right.
So here we go, gents. This shows you, after 12 games in the Premier League, the most defeats as the reigning champions. Al, your old team, Blackburn, after you did it in 94-95, on that list, 6. How hard is it to go again?
Yeah, it was really difficult, but Liverpool have done it very differently to what Blackburn did. Blackburn didn't sign anyone going into their season our season after we won the league, whereas Liverpool have signed so many players, and there isn't many that have actually been a success as yet, and they're really struggling to find the balance. And it's not just one thing, because defensively they've been really poor, set pieces they've been really poor, but also trying to find the balance in forward positions. So it's not an easy fix for Liverpool, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Did you find that, though, mentally as a player, to get back to those levels, to that standard, to maintain it at least, it is difficult?
It was, yeah, absolutely, because you're the team that's there. Everyone's trying to beat you. It's very different from when you're chasing teams to then being chased, and then to being the top boys where everyone's coming up and they may have a different setup against you, and they've looked at what you were really successful at the season before, so teams are not going to let you do the same thing. But the sign of great teams are they go again. It's one thing winning it. The great teams go again, like Man United have done, like Man City have done that. But Liverpool aren't winning the league this season.
Ooh.
It's gone early, Will. It's gone early.
The look he gave me as well when he said that.
6 games already they've lost.
Yeah.
They're not winning the league
Too
this
far
season.
off, yeah.
Too far off, yeah. Too much that needs to be fixed.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the goal. Shay, with your goalkeeper hat on here, controversial in the sense that we'll get into and what the Match Centre have said about it. What was your view from a goalkeeper's point of view, Murillo's strike?
Look, I think it's the right decision. I think there'll be an angle that will show Alisson has a clear view when he strikes the ball. I think Alisson does claim that he's offside, and we've seen it 2 weeks ago, of course, with Liverpool. It's gone the other way. And I think Alisson at this point can see the ball, Will, so I don't think he's interrupting with his vision. You know, I don't think he's saving that no matter who's standing there. You'll see it here. When Murillo kicks the ball, he's watching the ball, he can see it. I think we have the one last angle from within the goal. And I think it's the right decision. And I know Liverpool feel hard done by, because remember the big goal that Van Dijk scored at City a couple of weeks ago. was ruled out because of Robertson was in an offside position. But if you just pause it there, look, you can see Alisson, you can see him striking it. He's not saving that well no matter what, and I think it's the right decision.
I think a bigger worry for Liverpool is how Murillo can actually take a touch 10 yards out from a corner and then get his shot away without anyone closing him down. That would be the bigger worry for me. But I agree with Shea. The Van Dijk one shouldn't have been disallowed a couple of weeks ago, and certainly that was the correct decision in allowing that. What you're now looking for is consistency, because if someone's in and around the 6-yard box, then you would think, well, he has to be interfering, when clearly he wasn't then. The keeper wasn't stopping that one, and Donnarumma wasn't stopping Van Dijk a couple of weeks ago.
Well, here's what the Premier League Match Centre said in terms of that opening goal for Nottingham Forest. And they said the referee's call of goal was checked and confirmed by VAR, with it deemed that Dan N'Doye was not in the line of vision of Alisson and did not make an action that impacted an opponent. Do you go along with he did not make an action? There was a movement.
N'Doye, there's no doubt you can see N'Doye move his right foot away just at the last second. When he steps, there you go, he just pushes his right foot in towards his left.
Otherwise it hits him.
Otherwise it may hit him. So, I just don't like the law as it stands, because it can go either way. It goes against you if you're a Liverpool player and fan 2 weeks ago. Yet today they deemed that something very different. Donnarumma wasn't stopping it anyway with Robertson. Alisson's not stopping that today anyway. Yet one goes for you and one goes against you. They both should be goals, because there's no way either keeper, because of the view that they've got, is going to be impacted by either player. And N'Doye moves his foot today, Robertson ducks 2 weeks ago. Yet you get different decisions.
Yeah. Look, it didn't matter too much in terms of the final score being so comprehensive, Shea, but Nottingham Forest actually did have a goal ruled out, which was equally as controversial for handball. But then the second goal came from Nicola Savona and the third from Morgan Gibbs-White. Talk us through these.
Yeah, you feel bad talking about Liverpool and all the negatives of them, but let's not forget there's another team involved today, Nottingham Forest. And to go to Anfield, I know Liverpool are struggling well, but it's a fantastic result for Nottingham Forest. It really is. I think Nico Williams spins the fullback, and it's a brilliant finish from Savona. He just arrives into the box. You'll see him on the edge of the box. And again, it's poor defending. I think it's McAllister misses out on the tackle. You shouldn't get out of there, well, no doubt about that. But again, take nothing away from the finish. This is against one of the best goalkeepers in the world football, me and Alisson. And he tucks it away nicely into that top corner. It's a brilliant finish from the fullback. And again, down at the Cop end, it's such a big result. Sean Dyche took over Nottingham Forest in the relegation zone, and to go to Anfield, you imagine the lift that will give them as a team, as a squad of players, and the belief they'll get on the back of this as well. And again, this is Gibbs-White falling up to the third. Alisson makes the save, but he's nice and calm again with the finish. But again, defensively, look at the gaps in the Liverpool defence. They're all over the place. Nobody's locking on. Alisson makes the save. Who's the first player to react? It's Gibbs-White. It's not a Liverpool player. So there'll be alarm bells ringing from a Liverpool point of view. But Sean Dyche, fantastic from him. Brilliant result from Nottingham Forest.
I think if you listen to Arne Slot after the game, he said they played really well for half an hour, but what stopped them was Forest, the way the Forest players threw themselves in front of the ball, who blocked absolutely everything. I didn't see that from Liverpool in the second half. I didn't see them throwing themselves to try and stop a Forest goal, or to try and stop Murillo from that corner. So they've only got themselves to blame. That's part and parcel of the game. And Nottingham Forest deserve great credit, and Sean Dyche for the way he set them up and for how much they wanted that win today.
League defeat of the season for Liverpool. They only lost once at home last season. That was against Nottingham Forest. And that 3-0 win for Forest this afternoon equals their joint heaviest ever Premier League home defeat. How are Liverpool reflecting on this afternoon? Let's hear from Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, it's another tough day for Liverpool. Why isn't it working at this moment in time?
We conceded too many easy goals. I think the first half an hour we were good, created good opportunities. They scored, obviously, on a set piece again. That you can ask yourself if it was in front of Alisson, but it counted, so you 1-0 down. And I think overall, we were just not good. Good in terms of the battles, the challenges, the second ball fight, too rushed. So it's a very, very difficult situation at the moment. But it was a tough day.
When you talk about the set piece, which you conceded from, very similar to what happened with you, Manchester City, but obviously the opposite outcome. But overall, all the players were up to try and defend that goal, like all 11 players, and don't usually see that. Is there a sense of nervousness about the team?
Well, there's nervousness, I think, after we conceded, but not during that particular moment. I think you sense that you want to rush things after we conceded, trying to find the equalizer as soon as possible, and obviously that's human when you're in a difficult moment. But yeah, I don't think there is nervousness before a set piece. I think we cleared the ones before. Yeah, in the end, obviously, like I said, we're just in a very, very difficult moment and we have to get out of it. But you don't get out of it by just speaking about it. And like I said many times, I'm obviously here speaking to you guys because I have to. I'd rather sort it out with my team on the pitch, and that will take a lot of hard work by the looks of it.
But you do take on that responsibility, don't you? You do talk about it as the leader, as the captain. You take on so much responsibility for this team. How do you go about then finding this solution to this problem that you're in?
Yeah, it's definitely a problem, and obviously, like you said, I take responsibility. But I think everyone in the team, not only the starters but the guys around as well, have to take responsibility as well, because football is a team game. We all do it together, and we need everyone at their best. And in order to win games, you have to take responsibility. That's what I've mentioned as well. And now you have to, you have to digest this, take it on the chin, and work harder. And obviously, I've been saying it quite a lot already this season, and it's not been working out so far. But we have to keep going.
How would you suggest then, or sum up the mood right now after you've spoken to your teammates in the dressing room after this defeat? What kind of responses are you getting?
Obviously, everyone is disappointed, like they should be, because losing at home against Nottingham Forest is, in my eyes, very bad. That's the least I can say about it. But especially the second half, the goals we conceded far too easy, and something that we all have to look in the mirror and take responsibility for. I've been in this club for such a long time now. We've been through ups and downs already, and we will bounce back. But these things don't happen overnight. You have to work and do it together. It's not a one-man show. It's all together, and keep going. But the reality is that we are in a very difficult moment, and we all want to get out of there. I'm not a quitter. No one should be. So I will keep going until the end.
And you can tell that
But the reality is, either side of the international break, they've lost 2 games, one against City, once against Forest today, by 3 goals to nil. It's the first time in the league they've lost 2 consecutive games by 3 goals or more since the days of Bill Shankly back in 1965. That's how unusual this run is by Liverpool. Before we discuss it, let's hear from the manager, Arne Slot.
Arne, what are your thoughts on that today?
Another big disappointment. Started off quite well the first half hour, got our chances, but I think throughout the whole game they threw themselves in front of every ball, every shot we had. That's also what they did in the first half hour, and then we conceded the 1-0, and afterwards we weren't able to play the way we did in the first half hour.
I must ask you about 1-0, 13 days on from the Etihad. Did you have a thought that it might have been similar to Andy Robertson?
Oh, I don't know. The thing I heard was that it wasn't offside. So if it's not offside, then there's nothing to debate. So after half an hour, I think we were, which is maybe quite normal, the better team. We were creating. It was waiting for us to score a goal, but then the game completely changed by that set piece, because the hour afterwards, we were maybe trying but hardly created any chance, and they scored 2.
What do you put that down to, that last hour then today?
It's if things go well, if things go bad, it's always my responsibility, and we weren't able to create enough, or maybe to say anything in the second part. I tried to adjust a few things that didn't really work out, so players tried, kept on trying, but unfortunately We weren't able to score a goal because you never know in this stadium. If you score a goal, then something can happen. Maybe you can turn the game around. But I tried a few things that didn't work out, and that's why I say it's in the end, if things go well or don't go well, it's my responsibility.
How about the second half? 39 seconds in to lose that goal.
Yeah, of course, damaging, because it was already hard to be 1-0 down against a team that's throwing themselves in front of every ball, blocking every shot. So it wasn't that easy to create chances, especially after the 1-0. So then to go 2-0 down, another knock for us, another boost in confidence for them. That's of course far from helpful for us.
What about the bigger picture? 6 league defeats in 7. Where are you at moving forward now?
Now we're in a very bad spell, and that's simple. And we also know that in a few days we have to play for the Champions League again, and not many days later, I think in 7 or 8 days, play 3 Premier League games. So yeah, it's nice if you work somewhere and things go really well, then it's nice to be part of it. Now it's a bit more difficult, but yeah, keep our head up, work incredibly hard, and try to turn things around. And that has been very difficult till now, but that's what we are trying every single day here at Liverpool.
And given the experience and characters you've got in that dressing room, that's important in a period like this?
Yes, of course. It's always helpful to have experienced players, to have quality players, and it's my job to get the best out of them, and that's not really working out the way we want at this moment. And that's why I can say one more time, it's my responsibility.
Thanks, Arne.
Let's throw things over now to Liverpool. We've talked about Nottingham Forest. I mean, if Arsenal win the North London derby tomorrow, Liverpool going to this evening down in 11th, there'll be 11 points behind the Gunners. Yes, I mean, we're getting to that stage where we can't keep saying it's an early stage of the season. We're not yet a third of the way through. But to argue that they're somehow going to be part of this title race is becoming increasingly difficult, isn't it?
It certainly is. Looks like they need a miracle to be anywhere near Arsenal at this moment in time. They lost 4 Premier League games in the whole of last season. That was a 6th defeat in the Premier League already. We're 12 games in. And you listen to Virgil van Dijk there. He's got a challenge on his hand as a player individually, and trying to get this group of players some confidence and belief back, along with Arne Slot and the big players in that dressing room. Because for 32 minutes, they came out the blocks quick. Mo Salah looked confident again. He was running at Nico Williams. Gakpo was looking good. But soon as they went behind, it was amazing how it just changed. The self-belief, the atmosphere in Anfield, it was just sucked out of them. And that's because what we've seen so far this season. There's so much disbelief. I mean, the fans left early. It was a really poor performance in the second half. I mean, you have to find something within yourself. And I listen at Virgil van Dijk there. When he comes out, he's normally the most confident person. He looked broke there. He looked like he was a big challenge, and it's going to be for Liverpool to get anywhere near the top of the Premier League.
And the contrast, wherever you look with Liverpool at the moment, are so stark compared to last season. They've already conceded 9 goals from set pieces, more again today. That equals the entire goals they conceded from set pieces in the whole of last season. The drop-off's been that significant, hasn't it?
It has. And you know, last year I looked defensively. It was something we always thought, they're so good. When they're on the front foot, they scare the opposition defence. And now the problem is when they're on the front foot, I think Liverpool are scared of the opposition when they break away, and it was no different today with Nottingham Forest. You could see there was going to get opportunities. They sat in a low block, they were hard to break down. And then in the transition, Nottingham Forest looked dangerous on every occasion. There wasn't an awful lot of opportunities, but they lose the game 3-0. I mean, they lost 3-0 to Manchester City before the break, and this was just unheard of. At the start of the season, if you're telling me they would have lost 6 games within 12, I'd have said you must be stupid. I really would. But a lot's gone on at Liverpool. Players being injured. Szoboszlai, I think, was a real positive today. I looked at him in that right-back position. Early on in the games, I was saying to Sid, some of his distribution was sensational. And Salah looked bright. But then in the blink of an eye, it flipped. And the confidence just really looked shot.
And listen, I'm not going to go to you on this again, because it's not fair to put you on the spot, but just listening to Andy Robertson after that wonderful night for Scotland, speaking about where he'd been mentally in the build-up to the game after the loss of Diogo Jota, it has to be having an effect. As Arne Slot said, he doesn't want it to be an excuse, but it can't be the elephant in the room that we continue to ignore. But for Liverpool, they are miles off it. nearly miles on it very early on in the game at St James's Park in the Saturday night football with Newcastle United. Clint, I know you're watching this one. Tim,
wait, watch this. Watch Haaland. Oh my word.
So Newcastle could have been one up, and very nearly Man City could have been one up as well. It's all happening early on.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you the Harvey Barnes one, and Tim can tell you the Haaland one. But
Come on, then, give us the
Harvey Barnes one. They try and play out from the back, and Joe Linton goes and presses Foden, and Barnes tries to bend it. He's in on goal. He tries to bend it far corner. It should really go near post, and Donnarumma saves it. Over to you, Tim.
Haaland goes clean through. Pope comes out. He rushes out towards him. I thought he would just drag it inside him. If he drags it inside him, then the goalkeeper either brings him down or he taps it in with his right foot. But he's gone with the first time and it's come off his toe and gone wide. Unusual for him.
Just over to
Respondent Virgil van Dijk answering some very important questions, and I think there are a few things to pick up after that. Gary, you were going to talk about momentum, and he said after we conceded, he admitted there was a nervousness there. We talk about momentum when you're winning, but it goes the other way too, doesn't it?
Yeah, he looked down, confused there, didn't he, slightly? And I think momentum does go both ways. You know, it's the best feeling in the world when you're winning week in, week out, going off the back into another game, off the back of wins. It's very easy to play in them situations. The momentum can also go the other way, you know, where you feel fragile. Even down to going into the training ground. You know, everyone's got a spring in a step after the back of a win going into the training ground. The mood is low, and it's about big characters like himself to pick the mood up, to pick the dressing room up, and to keep working and come out the other end, like I said earlier.
Yeah, very difficult as well, talking about leadership and the role that he has to play to somehow pick this team up.
Well, it is. I mean, there's obviously leaders in that group, and this has been a successful group over a long period of time, so I don't think there's any doubts, and if anybody out there has got doubts as to whether Liverpool will bounce back in the future, then, you know, I would suggest they're very wrong. I mean, but these periods happen in life. Forget football in life, and sometimes you can't put your finger on it. If you go into that dressing room now, there's not one reason why everyone's saying, right, we need to do this and everything will be all right. It'd be so easy then. Look at Virgil van Dijk, he can't really give you an answer. They're doing the same thing, they're trying the same. You know, it's not like all of a sudden we're doing something that's alien to them. So it's just not going. But what does happen is when you start losing that confidence, something that knocks you in a game, as I say, they play brilliant for 30 minutes. They don't score, and then all of a sudden they concede one, and that's it. It's like everyone falls to pieces. And that's what confidence does, and that's what the momentum does, and then it's hard to get out of that rut. So I bet you the training level is absolutely the same. I bet you in the next few days, Arne Slot comes out and says, training's absolutely fantastic, they look sharp. And it will be, because you're doing nothing different. And they're playing brilliantly as well in patches. But as soon as something goes wrong, that's when your confidence starts ebbing away. And of course, if you continued that game today, Liverpool wouldn't have scored. It probably would have ended up 4-0, because that's just what happens. And it happens in life, it happens in football. There's no one reason that you can say, right, do this, and everything's going to change.
And the mindset, Michael, last season probably is they go a goal down, and in the head they're going, it's fine, we'll win 2-1, 3-1. Yeah. Whereas now the seeded out is they go a goal down, and they're almost subconsciously thinking, not again. Is this happening again? Do you know what I mean? So it's that kind of mindset, that little shift, albeit slight, is they need to get back on track.
And when you're dealing with the top end here, we're not in the, you know, the guys aren't playing in the 5th division, whereby, you know, you can get away with mistakes, things like this. When you are talking like 1% here and there, every team in the Premier League is good nowadays. Yeah. I mean, even 10, 15 years ago, you'd probably get away with it against some teams. Now, a team that are in the bottom 3 before this, you know, they can go and beat the champions 3-0. And it just shows you what a bit of confidence can do from Nottingham Forest's point of view as well. They're on the up at the moment. Liverpool are feeling the effects, and that's what happens.
Yeah, the finest of margins, as you mentioned. Let's look at the goals then. The first one came from Murillo. Plenty of talk about this one, given how similar it was to what happened against Manchester City.
Yeah, as I said at half-time, I've got no problem with this being given a goal. I actually don't think Alisson is impeded in terms of his vision. I don't think he gets to it anyway. Of course, he's appealing. Everybody would. I think what you've got the problem with, you can just see the left foot there, Nottingham Forest play, right in front of Alisson as well.
Yeah.
The thing that Liverpool fans will have the problem with is that that's very, very similar to the Andy Robertson goal, or the Andy Robertson offside decision. It was the Virgil van Dijk goal a couple of weeks ago at the Etihad. Now, I know he doesn't duck, but he is in the middle of the goal, in front of the goalkeeper, so some people will say, well, if you're 3 yards out and central to the goal, then you have to be involved in the play. My opinion is that should have stood, but my opinion is the goal that Liverpool scored a couple of weeks ago should have stood as well.
Yeah, I think the main difference for the Match Centre, Premier League Match Centre's official tweet that came out was that one was an action to play the ball or to move, and one wasn't. That's the difference they've made between those two incidents.
That's wrong. Because there's no action to play the ball. Andy Robertson was ducking out of the way. It's if you make a movement towards the ball. He wasn't. He was getting out of the way of it. Donnarumma in the Manchester City goal, and I'm sure we will see it, we saw it at half-time, that he had a perfect view, and even though he dived, he was never getting close to it anyway. It's very similar. I mean, this is one angle that you can show. The better angle is behind from Virgil van Dijk's perspective. You can see Andy Robertson there diving, but there, total clear view. He's getting nowhere near it as Donnarumma. I mean, it's very similar in so many ways.
Gary, how did you see it?
I thought it was a great finish by a centre-back. I think the goal should have stood today, clearly. And I thought the two centre-backs for Nottingham Forest were absolutely terrific. So great finish.
If you're a Nottingham Forest fan, the goals from Anfield this afternoon, because Nottingham Forest have gone to Anfield like they did last season and inflicted defeat on the champions, but this time it was by 3 goals to 0. Delighted to say the club captain Ryan Yates joins us live from Anfield now. I mean, Ryan, congratulations, 254 appearances. Where does this win rank?
Yeah, right at the top, to be fair. Lads were incredible today. Thoroughly deserved the win, and yeah, you can see the dressing room's quite lively in there. So yeah, we're enjoying it.
And just in terms of what you did, you played a key role in that win last season against Liverpool, but that was a very different Liverpool. They are struggling this season. How did you go about this afternoon exposing those weaknesses?
Yeah, there's still a team full of a lot of quality, and we knew that. I think any time you go to Anfield, you need to weather the storm first 20, 30 minutes, and yeah, the lads did brilliantly. And then we grew into the game, got the first goal, and yeah, I think it knocked their confidence, and yeah, we never let them recover.
Yatesy, it's Dos. Hope you're good.
Dos, how are your things, mate? All good.
Very well. Congratulations on that win. Let's just touch on Sean Dyche, what she's done. Now, look at your last 3 performances. You played Manchester United 2-2, Leeds 3-1, and then you go to Anfield and win 3-0. Your defensive unit today looked back to what I saw last season under Nuno. How influential has Dyche been?
Yeah, he's been huge, him and his staff. I feel like they came in, embraced everything what the club's about, brought that togetherness with the supporters, the team, got that connection going again, and you know how powerful that is at Forest. And yeah, it's been a really good start, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and it's a massive win, and we're going to enjoy it. But yeah, plenty of work to come, but it's been a great start.
That win today, Yatesy, gets you out the bottom 3, something that you probably weren't expecting at the start of the season. 12 games in, 12 points, you're only looking one way.
Absolutely, yeah. As we've said all season, we've got the quality, but you know, you need to back that up. We need to work harder for each other, do more for each other every single game, and yeah, we've made good progress the last few weeks. So let's just keep looking up and stay positive.
I just want to ask you, well done on the result, but it's about Dorse. What was Dorse like as a player, mate? Because he tells me he was amazing.
Taught him all he knows.
Honestly, Dorse was one of the best guys I've ever shared a dressing room with.
Wow.
Took so much from his leadership, how he was around the lads. As you can see on your show as well, he's just buzzing every single day. Just comes in, smile on his face. He hasn't changed. He doesn't seem to age either. It's crazy.
That's enough. Don't compliment him too much.
Ryan, let's just get this back on track. This is not going to be a Dorse loving. I know you need to get on. So let's just have a final question. It's your first away win in 9 in all competitions. You've gone to the champions for a 2nd season in a row and got a win. Under Sean Dyche, in what has been a difficult start of the season for you guys, you now begin to believe you're on an upward trajectory.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't really know what to say. I think, you know, it's a big psychological boost, obviously, getting out of the relegation zone, but it's harder to stay out of it, and yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what this club demands right from the top, and yeah, we're going to strive to do that, is for sure.
Ryan, really appreciate you joining us. We'll give Dorse a big hug on your behalf.
Thank you very much.
Good luck against Malmo on Thursday.
Nice to see you, mate.
Thanks for joining us. Congratulations, Ryan.
Nice
Dorse, what love-ins aside, what a terrific result. And I thought it was interesting what you said. Forest defensively today, yeah, we'll talk about the 3-0, but defensively looking something like we saw last season?
And I think they had to be in the first 33 minutes because Liverpool were dominating possession, creating a few opportunities in wide areas. Salah and Gakpo were causing problems without creating any real opportunity. There was one within the first few minutes. Gakpo gets down the left-hand side, pulls it back to McAllister, and it was Elliot Anderson who cleared one off the line. Well, it hit him straight in the head. If that goes in, it can be a completely different game. However, once Forest got the noses in front, and it was a poor goal for Liverpool to give away, take nothing away from Murillo's finish. It was top draw. But it was 33 minutes till they really got into the game. And then in the blink of an eye, there could have been 2-0 up with a goal disallowed. It just sort of, once they went 1-0 up and they got into half-time, and the goal straight after half-time from Savone, I mean, terrible from Liverpool. I expected them to come out of the blocks quick, start with pace and probably get the next goal and then see where it goes. How wrong was I? Forest get the goal and it gives them something to hold on to. And you talk there about defensively. Last season, that's where they're so good. Defensively good and clinical when they had the opportunities. And that's exactly what happened today. Great performance. A typical Nottingham Forest performance that I saw last year from Milenkovic and Murillo. Williams at left back, Savona at right back. The two in the middle of the park. Elliot Anderson, who has just grown and grown since he's gone to that football club. An England international now. Zangari, Igor Jesus, worked his socks off. Got a goal disallowed, but I just thought from back to front, when they got the noses in front, it gives them something to hold on to. And the last three results that they've got has been remarkable. A typical Sean Dyche, which when he went in, I always expected him to get out of the trouble they were in. And Morgan Gibbs-White gets his third consecutive Premier League goals in 3 different games. So they've got a lift, they've got belief, and they're out of the bottom 3.
So would you expect, I mean, you're right, they're up into 16th now. They've got Malmo, as I said, to come in the Europa League on Thursday. You look after that, they've got Brighton at home, Wolves away, Everton at home. Would you expect this, as I said to Ryan Yates there at the end, that upward trajectory to continue based on what you've seen today?
Most definitely. Not just because of today. I thought today was going to be a lot harder than what it was. Before they started, but I watched them against Leeds, very dominant, very comfortable, and with Sean Dyche going in, it was stability, and it was all about trying to keep the Nottingham Forest team in the Premier League, and no doubting he was always going to do that. But now they're looking up. This ownership, finishing 7th last year, didn't expect to be in the situation they were in not too many weeks ago.